to the Emajin Golf Podcast Beyond the 19. I'm your host Raj and today we chat to Chuong Mai-Viet from Fuse Technology. Chuong shares some great insights on cybersecurity, AI, and talks about having your tech provider as your caddy in golf. Hope you enjoy. Chuong, you've been a member of Emajin for I think over 2 years now, and we've chatted always on the golf course. But it's amazing to have you here on the podcast. Finally, get to chat with you one-on-one. So welcome on the podcast, Chuong.
Thank you. I'd love to be here. I've enjoyed our chats over the years, and it's nice to do something a little bit more formal, but
yes,
good nonetheless.
Exactly. You're wearing a business shirt. There you go.
I know this is unusual for me. My wife said you can't wear a Fuse polo shirt, which everyone knows that's all I ever wear. But
I know, I'm the same. I only wear the Emajin shirt all the time. But for me, I just try to stay on brand. But amazing. This is the most well-dressed I've seen you, I have to say.
That's true. That's true.
But look, we're here to talk about the hot topic, IT,
Yep.
Which is so topical at the moment because anywhere I turn, somebody or the other is talking about AI.
Yep.
People are talking about cybersecurity. There's like the thing that everybody talks about.
Yep.
So tell me from your thoughts, Chuong, I talk to business owners all the time, and effectively, most of them, they only talk about IT when there's already had an issue.
Oh, you should, yeah.
Because people, as business owners, you're not putting that, the top priority.
Yep.
However, it's a huge competitive advantage if you do it right.
Yep.
So tell us a bit from your thoughts. What are you seeing in the market, and tell us a bit about IT.
Yeah, look, I think the big thing that we're seeing in the industry at the moment is small business owners are struggling to get good people. They want to get more. So you want to deliver more for less. You've got to be more profitable because staff are costing more money. Everything's going up in price. And you can't always pass that price directly onto your customers. So where's the edge? The edge is taking some of the friction out of your business, getting the AI automation tools to do that work for you. And then so you can focus on your customers and doing what you do well. So, it's simple things like you need to put a presentation together for a client, being able to pull the data out of all of your systems using an AI tool to kind of put a placeholder together. In the past, you would have assigned it to a staff member. You would have sat in a lounge or in between trips going, crap, I got to put together a presentation. I literally can pull something together in 5 minutes now using AI.
Yeah.
And so it's those sorts of things that I think business owners should be aware of, is that there are ways of kind of increasing productivity without taking the human part out of your business.
And it's across all businesses, isn't it?
Yep.
Because the other day I was chatting to someone, it's called the School of Hard Knocks, and it's some group, social media influencer, people from the US, and they were like, we've got AI bots doing the entire marketing.
Yep.
So there's a copywriter and there's whatever. The whole thing is posted for you, and it guarantees you millions of views or something like this. And I mean, obviously that's one element of what you do in your day-to-day. There's so many issues operationally. And I was just thinking, look, obviously people talk about AI. I was doing my budgets for this financial year coming up. And literally I just put all of my stats into all of my data from this year into just Claude. And I just said, give me a budget for next year and I want to have this much growth, whatever. 5 minutes later, there's a whole budget, and look at it, and even the margins, each event margins in different states, it's calculated everything based on, subscription, different product types, and it's just amazing. I was looking at it going, whoa, I don't even have to do much edits. And then if you do want to do a couple of edits, you just say it again. Because I've set up this new thing, we only talk, I don't know. And then it's so fast. And tell me a bit more, I mean, how can people do this systematically? Because obviously, you do an ad hoc thing like that with Claude. But is it better for just to use those kind of things, or is it better to create something proprietary? What is the best way to kind of leverage this? Let's talk about AI first, and then all the other elements. But what is the best way for a business owner to think about this whole spiel?
I think about it like in our business, I'll use an example of today, right? Yeah. So today, I needed to recruit some staff out of our Vietnam team. And in Australia, we use Seek. Seek's got some great AI tools. You can kind of post an ad, you respond, it kind of gives you shortlists. But in Vietnam, there's no such tool, right? Yeah. And then we have a whole bunch of staff that refer resumes to us. So I said to our head of people and culture, I said, why don't we just build a tool, right? Where we say, we like what Seek does, but we get resumes from referrals, we get it from job boards, we get it from social media. Give us the same experience, but in a tool, right, that we own. All you need to do is forward the email to an inbox and it'll just pick it up. it'll read it, it'll reference what jobs we have available, which we've written the job ads for anyway. And it came back and said, yeah, no problems, here's a brief. And I gave it to one of my technical guys and said, go and write this.
Okay.
And in the next week, he was going to write something.
Wow.
Right? So this...
And then you have your own tool.
We had our own tool.
So it's not obviously just a project or something, but it's a lot more sophisticated.
It's a lot more, but it's going to be ours.
Yeah.
It's our IP. And it just gives us a little bit of a competitive edge for the short amount of time until everyone on this podcast know what I've done. And then we'll catch up, right? So I look at it in, there are tasks that happen in your business every day. What are the tasks that your team complain about the most? What are the ones that you can never get them to do? Imagine if you could use a tool that did that task for them, right? And then kind of break it down into those small chunks, but then kind of look at it from a process perspective first. What is the process? Are we doing it right? And then build the tool around it. And that's where I find is the best way of doing it. The key bit is when you build it, make sure it's in a nice contained environment, it's safe, secure, it's not published on the internet so that any man and his dog can kind of log in randomly to your site and kind of start accessing it. So put some guardrails around it, and that's where a good IT provider will help you out.
Yeah, because that's a big piece, isn't it? I would keep reading in the news about Claude and how it's just become so sophisticated, it's bypassed its guardrails, and AI's gone, etc. I mean, it's probably too far away a problem that I don't have.
Yeah, look, but it's no, I use the example of, imagine if you went out and built a P&L spreadsheet for your business today, right? It's an Excel spreadsheet. What's stopping someone in your organization getting that data and just forwarding it on to your competition?
Exactly.
Right? So you've got to put the right guardrails in place regardless, right? And the tool is just a tool. It's not smart enough to go, oh, I've got to worry about all of this architecture. And so I say to our clients, anything that less than 5 people use, build it in-house and keep it in-house. If you want to scale it, then put some custom, like give the tool to a developer and they'll build it properly for you with the right safeguards, the right rails.
Exactly.
And do it properly, right? And then that becomes the lifeblood of your business and you move forward with it. But, you know, from my perspective, it's like anything in the world, right? If you're going to do it properly. Otherwise, just dabble around with it, see whether you like it. The analogy of golf, right? Like your first round of golf isn't around New South Wales, right? Your first round of golf is probably at the driving range at Moore Park, and you kind of get better at it and you kind of contain it.
Yes.
And then when you're grown up, you go play the big boy courses, right?
Absolutely.
But you don't dive in, or if you do, you're going to get hurt.
Totally. Going to get hurt. I like that. I'm going to use that about New South Wales. But look, I'm talking about golf, right? Using a great analogy. Most golfers, you know, you have a caddy. And I am a big caddy player. I always am a great caddy player because when I go overseas, I play at different courses. And when I get a caddy, I'm very good at taking instruction. And then usually I don't spray my balls too much. I'm always in play. And a lot of my game is around the short game. So with the caddy, they know the breaks, etc. So I always shoot very low scores for my handicap when I have a caddy. And I think that business is the same and IT is the same. So I almost think of, you know, your IT specialist as having a caddy who kind of teaches you what to do in this space. Because if you look at AI, look, I'm not the most technical person. And you look at my business, we all know the technical people. We are more the golfers and we are people. So to build that technology, I always think like it'll be like having a caddy or having that thing. So tell me a bit more about that relationship. I mean, obviously it's a trust-based relationship between your IT provider and you. And if you get it right, you can actually achieve a lot. And if you get it wrong, you also could have a lot of headaches. So what are your thoughts about that relationship itself and how have you seen it working? Like what looks good and how does it work well?
Yeah, look, I think from an IT perspective, you're right. A good partner is a good caddy. So my job is to guide your business in the right direction. It's making sure that you have the right tools, making sure that, you know, if you're going to make a mistake, we call it out. Hey, don't hit the ball over there. Don't make this decision with IT because we've seen this happen before. We play this course all the time. And if you do this, it's going to end up in tears. Like that's our job. But at the end of the day, you still have to hit the ball, right? So we're not here to do your jobs for you. We're here to take the pain away from the things that you do well, right? So, you know, if I look at on the weekend, I played 3 rounds of golf in a row, which I never normally do. And as you know, some of the Tasmania courses, you can only walk. And, you know, I'm not the fittest guy in the world, but I got an electric cart, right? And then all it did was took the pressure away from me pushing it, and I didn't have a bad back at the end of it. I enjoyed the round, and I focused on what I wanted to do. And IT's the same. Like our job is to put the guardrails in place, give you the right tools, make sure your equipment is ready to go for your next shot, for your next deal, for your next whatever, and make sure that you're on the straight and narrow. But ultimately it's a partnership, right? Like you can't have one without the other. And if it's done well, it's really good. And that's what I think a good IT partnership's about. So, you know, I look at our clients, there are some clients that started with us with 5 staff. Now they're 200 staff, and we've guided them on that journey, and we've worked together with them, and we've put the tools, and every time they grow, we say, maybe we should just stop. Might need a new piece of equipment. Let's do things a little bit differently because it's a different world now. So that's what a good trusted partner is. I think sometimes the mistake partners get is, you know, you might have started your business and it was just 2 of you, and you picked your mate down the road to take care of your IT, and he does it on the side of you. But what happens is when that business grows up, that guy down the road is too busy or he doesn't have the experience. And like a Caddie, sometimes you have to upgrade your Caddie during the process, right? You have to go, actually, this Caddie was great because I play only in New South Wales and he's my mate down the road and it's all good. We've played all these courses together, but once you graduate to the PGA Tour, you're not going to be in that
analogy.
Right? It's the same thing, right? Like you get bigger, you get better, and you just have to upgrade your tools.
And it's so big, right? Because it's the same. I could use our example. When we started, Jamie was our IT. But Jamie, and then I said, Jamie, fix this. And one day he came to me, and he was very young. He came to me and he said, Raj, you realize that I have no knowledge of IT, don't you? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, call geeks to you. But obviously, as your business grows and you want to scale, you want to have the right systems in place. I'm a big believer to do the things properly the first time. Because even when we started, like even with last CRM tool, we got HubSpot. People were like, you can get Zoho for $400, and I'm like, now we're paying $2,500 for this HubSpot. But for me, it was just like, I'm not going to learn another system. Again, like whatever I have, that's what I'm going to do.
There are some tools that you'll pick from the beginning that you know that will be there with you from the long run. But the people building it might have different levels of experience during the journey, right?
Yes, totally agree. And I think, look, you're talking a lot about guardrails and putting all the right systems in place. And that is a great segue to my next thing I want to talk to you about is security, cybersecurity. Now, everybody's been hacked at some point or the other, and it's just a scale that's different. Sometimes it could just be a phishing email. Sometimes it's somebody sends a message, and I had that once a few years ago where somebody sent a message as me, and my accountant paid $9,000 to someone because in the email he received it said from me, it's urgent, pay this immediately, and he paid it. And I was like, oh my God. And also, what if we used to have a system to prevent this is he would send me a message every day saying, this is the summary of everything that I'm going to pay. But in his summary, he had put the $9,000 in there. But the summary I got didn't have it in there. I said, yeah, this is approved. And then he paid it. And I said, what is this? Like, this is a bit, the amount is different. And then we realized that the whole emails, we were actually, I was in the UK and we got on a Zoom call. And we're like, oh my God, So that's a tiny number. But I've had a friend who's had $100,000 taken out of our account and that capacity. So how big or little is this issue? I mean, obviously everybody thinks it's big. It's massive, but I mean, what do you see as the real impact and loss of information, money, etc.? Like, what are you seeing, and what can business owners do in this space in terms of cybersecurity? Because it's so big. Like, I mean, Optus got hacked into. What does Emajin cost if we don't stand a chance? You know what I mean?
So I liken cybersecurity to your house's security, right? So it depends on what you're protecting, right? So for me, if your business is, it's all about its reputation. It's all about the brand. You should spend money on your cybersecurity because what people don't realize is a breach chips away at your brand. It says to that people, they don't have the right safeguards in place. They don't have the right things in place. And my data is important. Look, we're quite unique in the industry. We actually provide a cybersecurity guarantee. Right. So in our managed service product, we basically say if you do all the things that we tell you to do, and we do this like every month, we'll sit down with you and go, right, have all your staff done cybersecurity training? We do phishing simulations where we practice you getting hacked, and we do all these things on a regular basis. We basically see there's no breaches. Where 95% of breaches happen because of the people. So the biggest weakness in most organizations is generally people and process. And it just comes down to the reinforcement of the training. Like even like a few weeks ago, we had an email that looked like it came from me, but it hadn't. All the things came in place. And eventually it got to me and I saw it and I said, doesn't look right, guys, right? And when we kind of reversed engineered everything back, it looked legitimate, but there were some red flags, right? And I said to the staff member, like, at what stage did you think that this was an issue? And she said, oh, no, I didn't think it was an issue at all. And we kind of walked it all back and it just comes down to process, right? But now with AI, they can craft very good emails. They look very legitimate.
And even the tone of voice and everything, it sounds like you.
Everything's and it doesn't take them long to do that either.
Yeah.
Right. So the challenge for most business owners is they're like, I always say it's managing the fallout.
Yeah.
And doing everything you can with your people to make sure that, you know, you get the training in place. And I think that what will happen is over time, like it'll happen to people so many times, but like from my point of view, every month. Like when I do my all staff meetings, we highlight some of the hacks that have happened in our client base.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like we just tell this up. This is what's happened. And most of the time we catch it. Actually, 99% of the time we catch it. The 1% of the time we could never have catched it because the staff member just did something so dumb that just like, you literally left the door open and, you know, left the keys in the car and said, take my car,
You
right?
can't have a pin code at 1122.
There's only so much.
That's what someone said to me once. Yeah, exactly. Because we were doing a talk on, we had one of our events, we had a hacker, sales to go and hack people. And he came and did a talk about how they do it. And literally, you know, he was like, you'd be surprised how many people have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 1, 2, 2 or 1, 1, 1, 1 as a pin.
And everyone went, oh crap, I'm going to change my pin.
and at the time when he did it, my pin was 1, 1, 1, 1. And he was like, oh my God, he says, better change it straight away. Because he said, put your hand up if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 1, 1, 1. And I was one of the people. And he said, go change it immediately. And it's interesting. And what he said as well is people enter people's buildings and things as well. The way they hack, like they find all these loopholes to get in. And for us, for example, obviously we don't carry too much financial information. It's just people's bio and stuff. So yes, it's confidential, but most people would.
Most people
have that on their LinkedIn. Like it's not a secretive data. It's just about them, their company size.
It's more
who they're looking to connect with. And a lot of the times, the people who they say who they want to connect with, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out who that is. Like for example, like Chuong, it'll be like, okay, 20 plus knowledge staff in an office working. You can guess what that is. So it's not secret information, but the financial information, all of us is on strike. So that we say, we're protected, but still it's
the brand damage.
Yeah, it's the brand damage.
And then it's what they call supply chain attacks, right? So what happens is if they hack into your email address and then they pretend to be you and then they use you to get into someone else, that's when it gets messy.
Exactly. And also they could be emailing, forget about sending staff a message, they could be emailing as me to my members.
Exactly.
The members are thinking I'm saying something which I haven't said.
So the other thing that we're seeing a lot of at the moment is they're breaching things like Google and Microsoft 365, and they're using SharePoint or Google Docs to send out documents to other people. And then once that goes out, they can send it to every single one of your clients. And if you get a link, if I get a link from Raj that says, hey, here's some pictures from the last golf day. I click on it, bang, right? So it's not you that got hacked, it's your clients that get hacked.
But then through my email,
through your email.
Then people go, oh my God, then it impacts our credibility, your credibility, etc.
So we're seeing a lot of that at the moment.
Exactly. And I saw one the other day saying, hey, you've got the subscription. Because I'm an insomniac, so I don't sleep a whole lot. So I buy these magnesium tablets that just helps you sleep. It's like a multivitamin thing. But it said, oh, your magnesium subscription is going out. It's going to renew in 12 hours or something. And if you don't want it, click here. What do? I go, oh, I don't want this. I click here. And then I go, why would I have a magnesium subscription?
Exactly.
I don't even have this, but I sometimes don't know what I have or not. I thought I must have subscribed to this thing.
It happens.
And then I thought, hang on a minute, I buy it from Priceline or wherever the mall. What if I clicked on this link? And then I looked at it and I don't know, it hadn't gone anywhere, but who knows? And Alan and me, we chat about, Alan sits next to me in the office and we always chat about this. We said the biggest security risk for us is the unsubscribed.
Yes.
Because we click the unsubscribe because we get so much golf-related products and golf brands and all this. So we click unsubscribe. Both of us click unsubscribe meticulously. We don't just delete it. We just because I don't want spam. So everything that comes, I unsubscribe. So if somebody put a link on an unsubscribe, I'm getting it. I'm getting that.
So there's a simple fix for that. Talk to your provider. There's this thing called safe links in either Google or 365. And it actually redirects, when you hit the unsubscribe, it redirects it to Microsoft or Google, and they will check the link before it passes it through.
Okay.
So talk to your provider about safe links.
Yeah, safe links. That's what I gotta have because I always think, what if this link is like bogus? But sometimes you can't not click on links because they look the same.
So there are tools out there to detect that.
That's what I need.
And it's built into the Microsoft products and Google as well. So it's just a matter of making sure you have the right license and turning it on.
Turning it on because I definitely should get that because for us that's our biggest weakness.
When
people get in and they start messaging all of our members with exactly what you said. Here's some photos. People are going to, because we send photos every month, they're going to download this thing. And sometimes the emails, they look very similar as well. Like I've got some from Amazon. We buy Amazon, lollies and stuff. I get emails from Amazon all the time, and it's not even Amazon, but it looks so similar. It looks exactly the same. So it'd be like, unless you're like a hawk and checking everything, you won't even pick up.
Check the links and all that sort of stuff.
No, you're not going to, right? I usually check the email. If I get a doubt, I check the email ID. Usually it's a bogus email, whatever. But now these days, even the email sounds the same. It's the same email.
It's a big challenge.
It's a huge challenge, So look, just in terms of our members, obviously we're a community of business owners. Everybody's a business owner. And people are always trying to weigh, the cost versus benefit and what they want to spend on and not, and et cetera. And look, if you get it right, technology could be a massive asset. Could be a competitive advantage. What can business owners do? Like what's some 2 or 3 tips you'd give them in terms of just assessing their IT, looking at where they are and where they should be and working out how can they best go about working this out?
Look, I think
obviously they can come and have a coffee with you.
Come on.
Just as exactly. Just as a kind of general advice, saying, hey, what can I do? What are some simple things that they could do, etc.
So I think we're an IT business, but I have someone who comes in every year and externally audits my security.
Oh wow!
Right, because it's like an accountant, right? Like when you get to a certain size of business, you get an auditor in to check the books because whilst you trust your accountants, bookkeepers, there needs to be someone that every now and again just runs an eye over it to make sure it's okay. So there are lots of companies out there that will do independent audits. It doesn't have to be expensive. Just get something done every now and again just to check your environment is safe and secure because a lot of people say, we win new customers all the time and, the first thing they say, our existing guy was really good. He did all the security, but, we've just outgrown him. And then you go in and have a look and none of the security is done and nothing's turned on and it's wide open, right? So just get a sanity check every now and again. It doesn't have to be every year, but it just with tenure comes complacency, right? So just get it checked every now and again. I think the other thing you should do is, as a business owner, we don't have time, right? But if you have an opportunity to listen to a podcast every now and again, there's some great podcasts out there that I'm happy to share on this link around where the world of technology is going, what the trends are. Just kind of arm yourself with a little bit of information. The same reason why every now and again I'll read the Financial Review, I'll listen to a podcast on legal or accounting, just because you're a business owner, right? You got to know everything. So just because it doesn't interest you doesn't mean that you can't spend a little bit of time arming yourself with a little bit of information, right? So do that. And then I think the third thing is identify the tech champions in your business and empower them. There are people in your business that will love technology, right? Give them a little bit of leeway. Don't just rely on the technology provider to provide that because ultimately no one knows your business better than people know, right? And as much as I'd love to come in and say, I'm going to fix all your problems, I'd much rather talk to someone who knows where the business is going and work with them and give them ideas and work together with them. As a business owner, it might not be you, but it could be someone in your business. And
Jamie is head of IT now.
Yes. So there's always someone that will get value in talking to people. And don't be afraid to send them out to things that are new and different, right? Send them out to tech conferences, get them in front of some of the things. Sometimes people think, oh, it's a junket, but other times it's the people you meet, and it's having that kind of group. So
engagement. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I'm a big believer in learning, continuous learning. So no matter what you do, like we do so much sales training, we do, communication courses, like we do so many courses. I've got everybody doing social media courses and how to use their phone to take videos and photos. Because we're an event business, we got to capture our members.
Exactly.
So I'm a big believer. We always do things together. That might even be something we do, like an IT thing, just to get, because I love learning myself. And even though I'm the worst IT person, not very technologically sound, but the reality is, I do operate, most of my systems. Like I think I do know more than many of my team. Because I sit there and take the time to learn everything my own self.
So to give you an idea, I've been at 2 technology conferences in the last month with IT business owners, and they ran AI training courses for the business owners. And some of the business owners who run MSPs like me are sitting there going, oh, I didn't know it could do that. And these are guys in tech who had no idea what the AI can do. Right? So I'm telling you, there's an opportunity.
Oh, I think AI is a massive opportunity, right? I mean, obviously, you can see that so many businesses, they're listed companies are being impacted by the impact of AI, and so many industries will have it. It'll be like the whole e-commerce back in the day, like when we had the internet come in, a big impact. So many businesses are dead. Like where's Blockbuster? Where's all these people? So I think there'll be a huge impact. We'll have to see where the dust settles as we come out on the other side. But it is a big thing to do. And what I've got, even though I'm not the technology person, and this podcast is about you, but what I do is I have all of them. I have ChatGPT, and Gemini, and Claude. And what I do is I put one, get some stuff in one, put it on the other, and say critique it. And I always say, like for example, for my social media, I put it in there saying critique it as if you were Alex Hormozi. And then it critiques it like Alex Hormozi. So just I say, look at the book, 100, a million leads and offers, and just read this and tell me what you think. And it is so clever. So I feel like you can use multiple ones to critique each other's work, and then the product you get is so impressive. And you spent like half an hour on it.
And
it's
in the
ridiculous.
past, it would have been outsourced.
Or
outsourcing it to someone, them coming back to you and going, that's not what I wanted. And you send them away.
I was reading in the Fin the other day, one of the newspapers that, you have all the McKinsey and BCG and everything. Going forward, why would they need business consultants or associates? Because Claude is giving them a report, which we would have taken the consultants months to do, billions of dollars. And now you have it, boom, like 25 minutes.
My view is, and I say this to my team, AI is not going to replace you, but it's going to free you up to do the things that matter.
Exactly.
Right? So we want this interaction. We want to be talking to our customers. Like when I look at the feedback from our customers, what they care about most is, I know I can fix a lot of this stuff on my own, but when I'm a high-paid lawyer and something breaks, I want it fixed right now, and I don't have time to stuff around. So that's why I ring you guys. But then on the flip side, I want my team to go, you're doing it this way. You could do it this way instead, adding value differently. And so I think what I say to the team is, I don't want to replace you. I want you to get rid of all the boring stuff you do and think of all the stuff you want to do. And focus on that, all right?
And also, because I was talking to someone the other day, my business coach, and you were just saying, the big challenge is it's not to reduce your staff, but to see with the existing staff, how much more you can grow,
100%.
how many more events you can run, how many more members you can connect. So that's the thing. The opportunity is to leverage what you have, to make it so much higher and reduce all these mundane tasks, so they're not sitting there doing stuff for 3 hours. They should do it in 30 minutes and then gone off to do the next task. And it's just making each of us more.
100%.
More capable,
and that's,
more knowledgeable, more everything.
And look, what will happen in the industry, in all industries, is like all the other industries, as the technology starts replacing people, people will start doing jobs that they actually wanted to do.
Yes, absolutely.
I know some people now that have just quit their jobs and they're happy running a lawn mowing service, right? Because they're out and about, they're their own boss, and they don't have to sit in front of a computer. I think there's like half the world that's doing a job they don't want to do. And imagine if those people could be doing the things that they love, right?
That's what I thought, and that's why I'm here. I used to work in banking. So look, one last question before I head off. Obviously, I was chatting to Dante in Denver recently, and he was super excited that he's going off to London. The opening offices in London, obviously. So tell me a bit more. What does the future look like for you? And obviously, as you grow, everything becomes more complex, cybersecurity and all of these. they become harder, not easier.
Yep.
So tell me the next phase for you.
The fuse, yeah. Look, so we now have operations in Canada, in Vancouver, UK in London, and then we have a back office in Vietnam. And we kind of did that because we realized that small, medium businesses are now global businesses. So if you're a 50-seat company and you want global IT support, there's no such thing. And so we really thought there's an opportunity to be a little bit different in that space. Luckily, the UK kind of happened because my business partner was meant to come back, but didn't come back. And then he's like, I'm staying. And then we went, well, let's spin it up. And then there was a gap. So Sydney, London's great, but then there's the North America time zone. So what we have now is if you ring our office any day of the week, you will get someone in either Canada, London, or
So
Australia.
24/7, you mean?
24/7.
Yeah.
And then it overflows to our Vietnam team if they're really busy. The Vietnam team are great, but people like speaking to locals around issues, right? Like if I need something specifically to Canada, having someone in Canada, you can't beat it, right? So there's that human element, but a lot of the tickets can be done on the back end, and Vietnam's great for that.
Yeah.
But the great thing about having a global business is when you have staff members who are superstars like Dante, who's kind of we've nurtured in. He said, I want to move to London. And we said, well, why don't you kind of head up sales for us in the UK? And he said, can I? And I said, why not? And the next thing you know, he's moving to London.
Yeah.
So kind of that global mobility.
Absolutely. Look, with Emajin, we want to go global as well. So we want to go into Asia and then we want to go into the UK, but go to the US as well. And as you go global, that's the key thing. You want to support all over the
So the
place.
so the technology allows us, but it also hinders us as well because now we have a global workforce, and how do we manage them, and how do we secure them, and all those sorts of things. So there's a bunch of great technologies that we deploy now. We're basically cybersecurity is now at what we call the endpoint. So the biggest risk to us, for you personally, is your phone, right?
Yeah.
Right, your phone. If someone gets into that, your life is gone, right? So what we're seeing is the endpoint is becoming really important. So we've kind of deployed a bunch of technologies to help protect the endpoint for the end users, but also to make you more productive, right? The tools that you're using is all on your phone because wherever you're in the world, you can use it. So there's a bunch of things, but what I've learned is culture is important. So if you're going to a new geo, you got to make sure that you're culturally aligned to that geography.
Yeah.
Luckily, the UK and Canada are quite similar in terms of culture. Vietnam wasn't my choice, it was my team's choice, but I'm Vietnamese, so I kind of get that culture really well. But one of the big things about Vietnam is we bring all of our staff from Vietnam to Australia. Yeah. So once you pass probation in Vietnam, you spend 4 weeks in the Australian office. And then we send our managers over there all the time. A lot of the time when people offshore, they just leave them there, they never visit them, they're not part of the team. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because they never get who you are.
They never get who you are. So the point where I was really proud was we had a year ago, our lawyer, who's also one of our clients, went with me to Vietnam because he had some opportunities over there. He sat in our office for a day and he said to me, Chuong, this feels exactly like your Sydney office, just Vietnamese people everywhere. And I said, that's the point.
Yeah.
It is our office, right? It doesn't really matter where they are in the world.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Look, I wish you every success in this global journey.
And I can't wait till you go global as well.
Exactly.
There's courses in the world I want to pay.
Exactly. That's what we want. Because a while ago, one of our members said, I want to play all the top 100 golf courses in Australia. And that's what we do. We try to get every one of the top 100 golf courses. Yep. And I absolutely want to do the top 100 of the world if we can, or at least as many as we can do. But that's the goal anyway one day. Yep. But look, wish you every success in this global journey. Yep. And also thank you for sharing so many great insights around AI, around cyber. Yep. And just what I found most amazing was that, just start small. Yep. Just get the house in order and then build everything on top of that.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fantastic, Chuong. Thank you.
Thanks, Raj.